Welcome back to another Aspire TV show. Today we have an amazing woman. She's done so much with the community. She's actually is a children's writer, and she has a dog, and he is that goes along with the book, and he makes you feel comfortable. She's gone to a lot of cancer. Work with cancer patients and gone to hospitals, and she's done some amazing things. So let's introduce you to Sheila Duncan. Welcome, Sheila.
Thank you for having me, Cynthia. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Well, Sheila, it's a pleasure. We were talking off screen, and you're an amazing woman, and we can actually relate to some of the things we've been working on. Sheila, tell us a little bit about who you are and where'd you grow up. Are you from Massachusetts, and were you from Mass all your life? And tell viewers all about yourself.
Well, let's see. I was born in Lynn, Mass, and grew up actually in Beverly, Mass. And then when I was 21, we moved to Marblehead, Mass. My dad had a restaurant in Marblehead for years, Maddie's Sail Loft. And
oh, I went to Endicott. I probably drank there.
Yeah, you probably did. A lot of people did. Yep. So it's a world famous bar, or was at that point.
We definitely did then.
I went to school at Salem State, which is now a university, and I got a Bachelor of Science in Education, and moved to California for a while. You know, the whole gamut. Came back here. Worked.
Did you go to California to be an actress?
No, actually, I went to California just to have an adventure. And I only lasted 6 months. I think I'm a New England girl at heart, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I came back here and I went to work for the travel business, and it was great. Eventually, my father wanted me to come to work for him, so I did. About 5 minutes after I went to work for him, he was diagnosed with cancer. And he passed away. I went to work for him in 1984. He passed away in 1989. And at that point, I was entrenched in the business, you know. So my sister and I kept it going. Then we decided to sell it. You know, there were just many, many different things going on that made us decide to sell the business in 2001. And after that, I went to work for a trade show company, which was great. And since that time, I also was here one night at my home, one winter's night in 2006. And my niece Kendra was here with me. She was 12 at the time. And she was just, you know, sitting at my coffee table doodling, and the television was on. Now, at this point, she had lost my mother, who was her nanny, her father, and our family dog to cancer. Boom, 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 right in a row. So she was very tuned into the word cancer. So the St. Jude Telethon came on, and she looked up and she said, oh, I have to help those kids. And she just went boom and drew a dog. And then she came onto my computer and came back. She said, his name's going to be Trouble, and he's going to help kids. You know, like one of those divinely inspired moments that you hear about. And that's exactly what's happened. She drew a little comic book strip, and it was about a puppy named Trouble who was abandoned. He was rescued by a nanny. He rescued other puppies, you know, sort of a pay it forward kind of thing. And I could see that there was a magic to this dog, whether it was his face, you know, he has, like, as you see, he has a little black eye there and a little pink
oh, right,
eye.
right.
We're just drawn to him like a magnet. So fast forward, I wrote a children's book with Kendra. We wound up having a prototype made for a plush puppy. And the reason we did that is a neighbor of mine introduced me to a friend of hers who had a toy company. And he said, you know, I think you got something here, but you need a children's book and a plush dog, which of course I had no idea how to do that. So he hooked us up with his overseas manufacturer. We had 2 shipments of 1,500 dogs apiece. Then it started to become difficult. So I decided to have Trouble manufactured in America, which was a terrific
Did you
decision,
sell all
really
those?
hard.
I'm just curious. Did you sell all those stuffed
I'm
animals?
sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did you sell all those stuffed animals?
I
That's a
did.
lot. That's
Yep.
quite a lot of them.
Sold
That's
them
pretty
and
impressive.
also wound up giving some away because what's happened is, and I'm going to tell you kind of a neat story. Kids who would get Trouble the dog as a gift for whatever reason, they were in a hospital or they, you know, broke their wrist or whatever it was. So their parents or grandparents or friends would give them this little Trouble puppy. Then the kids would reach out and want to give Trouble to another child going through a tough time. Kids are so, you know, they're so much better than us, you know? So that's one reason why we formed a foundation and we donate Trouble dogs and books to first responders when they pick up a child in crisis, because we had so many requests for Trouble dogs.
That's amazing.
Yep, thank you.
You've helped a lot of people. Till today, how many people do you think that you've come across, like children that you've donated to?
Oh, thousands and thousands and thousands. And you know what's so amazing? I mean, I do this every day, but what's so amazing to me, Cynthia, is that kids, I'll get an email from a mother, and let's say their child has, I'll give you an example, a little girl named Asmi. She's had Trouble since she was 2 years old. So she's had him, she's now, I think she's like 8 or 9. She's still sleeping with Trouble every single night. That's why we call him.
Heck, I'd sleep with the Trouble when I'm an adult.
Well, I'm now with the pandemic. I'm getting adults that get in touch with me to send Trouble to other adults. Because
I think that's nice.
Thank you, because these days, you know, people really need a hug and they really need something soft and comforting. And so the story I wanted to tell you is I met a little boy and his name is Darius. So Darius was adopted from foster care. He had a tough start in life. And he was given from foster care. And he's since been adopted into just a magnificent, wonderful, loving home. So he was given through foster care a Trouble dog and a couple of our books. And he's got such comfort from Trouble that his mission now, so he's 8 years old, and he's on the front page of our website, which is troublethedog.com. You can see his picture. He's decided, because Trouble made him feel such comfort and hope. He also says that Trouble knows what it's like to be in trouble, so he makes him feel safe, and he tells Trouble all his concerns, that he started a campaign to raise money to buy Trouble dogs for other foster kids.
That is amazing.
Isn't it amazing? And
yes.
So today,
this is Darius that did that, right? Yeah.
This is Darius. And
Darius,
how
old's Darius?
8.
Unbelievable. 8 years old.
He's 8 years old, and this kid brings tears to my eyes because
I can understand why.
Yes, I mean, I'll tell you, he had his first communion, and he wanted to give his first communion money to get Trouble dogs for kids, which of course, you know, I mean.
Unbelievable.
His aunt has an ice cream store, and people are just, you know, giving money to help. It's the Daily Scoop in Stoneham if you want to get yourself an ice cream. And people are just, you know, giving money to support Darius. And that's kind of the way this has always rolled, is that it's kids that want to help other kids. So to me, that's the magic of this puppy named Trouble, created by a child to help other kids. So.
I might be having a family fun day in the fall for the town. And I think we'll donate, you know, we'll have a huge raffle and we'll donate all the money to his cause.
That would be great. To Darius's cause?
Yes, it's a great cause.
That would be great, because, you know, he's so pure of heart, and my niece is too. That was her big thing, was to, you know, because she had gone through such a tough time. He went through such a tough time, that they just truly want to help comfort kids. And my ultimate hope, which is what the kids keep telling me they want, easier said than done, my ultimate hope is to turn Trouble into a cartoon and a video.
Oh, that's what I've been looking into for my books.
Yes, so
That's a great idea. That's what I was looking into.
right, and it's not easy, but you know what?
No,
The bottom line is that I would love it if kids who are in a foster home could see this puppy when they
on
come
TV.
home on TV, telling them, you know, about the bumps in the road of life, gently, but also with great humor. You know, we have a new character coming out in the third book that, you know, you'll hear about another time, but he's like a humorous little spark. So it's definitely got legs, I think, for a great cartoon series to sort of not be just touch what's happening in the world today, but not in a gloomy way. To just let kids know it's okay. You know,
Absolutely, and I
give them,
totally agree with you. You know.
give
Now
them.
let's talk about you had been featured in. I'm noticing you've done a lot of work. You worked with the Ronald McDonald's house, right?
Yes, they
And
have
then
Trouble the dog.
and then
All
you
those
had me.
places have Trouble
Yep,
the
go ahead.
dog. Yeah,
And you worked with homeless families. You worked with the children affected by Haiti, right? Which is
yes,
interesting.
yes,
You worked with the Shriners Hospital for Children,
yes.
Boston Children's Hospital, Mass General Pediatric Oncology,
We just
Hasbro
made a
Children's
second
Hospital.
donation, a third donation to them not too long ago.
And right, they helped children affected by the earthquake and from the Boston Maryland bombing. And Sheila and Trouble traveled to Connecticut to provide need comfort for the affected families in Newtown, right?
Yes,
So now it looks like you've been featured in many magazines and articles, and you've been on a little of everything. So why don't you tell us a little bit where you've been featured and stuff?
I'm sorry.
Where you've been featured in several places. You've
Well,
been
you know,
featured on MSNBC,
yes.
Your Business, CNN's American Journey, North Shore Magazine, Top Woman Entrepreneur, Martha Stewart's Made in America,
Yeah.
Magic 106, Exceptional Woman, Boston Globe's Extending Comfort, Radio Entrepreneur. She's also been, you've been featured in Success Magazine, Ladies Home Journal, Marblehead Home Magazine, and several popular blogs and websites, including USA Loveless and Pinterest. Wow, Shea's mission is to continue to help people who are most vulnerable going through tough times, bringing hope to children and families around the world. That's pretty amazing that you've been in all those things, you know?
Well, you know, I thank you. I have a wonderful team that helps me. I have a wonderful woman named Melanie Fleming, and she's my publicist, and she, you know, I sort of, I go and do the visits and stuff like that. And Melanie gets it out there. Melanie has the contact. She's very strategic, and she's a real pro. I also have a woman, Carrie Schluter, who does all of our, you know, website design and concept design and that kind of stuff, as far as, you know, different flyers and graphics. And, you know, we call it that she adds her magic to everything. And then most importantly, I have a bookkeeper who tortures me, you know, who keeps track of everything that I do, because, you know, I'm busy, I'm on the move. And
all with this one book and the two books and the stuffed animals.
I'm sorry?
And that's, you're on the move, busy with just the books and Trouble.
Yeah.
Stuffed animal, wow.
And you know, I've been so fortunate to meet such really amazing people. As a matter of fact, Candy O'Terry was so kind, you know, to have me on as an exceptional woman, and I'm going to be talking to her this fall. So people, I think, really appreciate the concept.
She's not on the radio though anymore, Candy.
She has podcasts and stuff. No, she's great.
Yeah.
She's been great.
I know who she is.
Yep.
She and I know each other.
Trouble supporter. And so I think truly people understand the magic of this dog. And I had no idea of how to do any of this stuff when my niece first drew this little puppy. Mm-hmm. So when I say divinely inspired, I'm not kidding, because we call him an angel in disguise. He's right on his tag. because I think that's what it is. You know, I mean, kids will hug trouble and tell me, they say, oh, he has an energy, I can feel it. And you know what? I believe them. So
Yeah, I believe that too.
thank
Now,
you.
if somebody is interested in getting a hold of you, buying your books, or interested in bringing you into a cancer patient, or to cheer up a child, or a fundraiser, who should they get in touch with? And what are your websites, and how can they find you?
The best thing to do, they can certainly call me. It's at 781-631-0887. That's the easiest thing to do. They can check out Darius's story it's right on the homepage of our site, which is troublethedog.com. And you know what else is interesting, Cynthia, is that we started out to help kids with cancer. And what's happened is trouble's applicable for any child who, for example, a lot of kids are so anxious during this pandemic that they're having night terrors. You know, we used to call them nightmares. They're having night terrors.
Yeah.
And Trouble is solving that problem, which is great. Kids who might just be shy, or you know, maybe they're anxious about school or any of that. We're finding that Trouble's he's a proven coping mechanism. And you know, I'm grateful to be able to do this, to tell you the truth, because
Well, you're an amazing woman.
thank you.
And I
It's
know
much
that you're
bigger
very
than me.
successful, and I'm looking forward to working together and maybe sharing some ideas. And
Great.
you know, maybe we can get a group to Zoom in every week or every month, and hey, where we're all at, and we can share
Right.
ideas.
Right.
And I think that'd be a great idea for networking and such, right?
Yes, I'm happy to, you know, I'm happy to pass anything that I know along, because people have been
And same here. So
so
we'll talk
kind
off
to me.
screen. But it's been a pleasure today. You know, it goes by fast, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
I know. It's like boom, and it's over.
Right.
So it's been a pleasure today, Sheila. You've done amazing things, and
Thank
it's
you.
I'm excited to talk to you. You really made my day.
Thank you. You
You
made
kind of
my
gave me
day too.
encouragement.
Thank you.
gave me encouragement.
I appreciate you having me on.
Yes. Well, again, folks, you viewers are watching at home, and we always appreciate you tuning in. Check out our business page, AspireTV, as well as our magazine, Aspiring Magazine. And definitely, you've got to get Trouble, because Trouble can make you feel better. It's magical.
Thank you.
Okay, from our homes to yours. Bye for now. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Bye. Nice having you on.
Thank you.